YouTube, the time has come for the start of another project. And the book that I want to start is The Four Colors, Mickey Mouse Outwits the Phantom Blot. Now, I know I said I was going to work on the Action Comics. I also am working on the Fantastic Four #5, Jim's book for Bronzeville Comics. But I'm almost done with the Fantastic Four. In fact, it's in my cold press. And I'm going to try something a little different. I am going to submit the book first, get the grade, and then explain the work that was done on the book. And the reason why I want to do something a little different is because I strongly believe that the Amazing Spider-Man 129, Angelo the Comic Guy's book, was in some way manipulated by CGC in relation to the work that I did in the form of the bottom staple and the spine work. Whether it was intentional or not, I'll never know, but I just have to go with my gut feeling. So with that stated, I want to get books that I'm working on for other people all done and graded. Then we can play around with different uploads, what was done, and before and after. So I hope that explains the situation, but it doesn't stop us from working on another book. And this is the book that I want to work on because, in my opinion, this book is a very important piece of comic history, at least in relation to Four Colors or Dell Comics. So we have a book that is pretty set in its ways, meaning that it's not flexible in any way. This packing tape, I think, was put on by a library because of these books. The whole collection, John Hanna's collection, were from a library in Connecticut. So I've never done this before on my channel. I am going to use a humidity chamber, and we're going to put the book in a humidity chamber so I can bring some moisture back into the book and I can manipulate it a little bit better than in the state that it's in. And talking about the library, here is the actual John Reese Library. So that's in Connecticut. I'm looking at this now, the book, and I don't know if it's complete. It may actually look like there is a few wraps that may be missing. I'm not sure. The Phantom Blot, maybe not. Maybe this is how they started it. So I have to look. And again, this is no reflection. If it is incomplete, I have no problem. I'll take this book complete, incomplete. So again, I'm not saying that to complain. I'm saying it just that I have to check and see, and we'll do that. So it's a 2-staple book. Look at that. Beautiful graphics. And maybe, yes, this is the title, so most likely this is the first page. So I'm going to pause the camera, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to set up my humidity chamber just to get the book, like I said, a little bit more pliable, where we can flatten it out and I could go about cutting the packing tape and removing it. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, we're back. And what I have here is a brand new 40-quart hefty plastic tub that I bought from Target. I just got it. It was $11. So it's nice and clean. squeaky clean, as Angelo the comic guy likes to say. And I'm only going to use this tub for the purposes that we are going to use it for on this upload, which is to humidify a document. I have my grate cut out, and I'm going to put one grate down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of Ramay paper down, and the Ramay paper prevents everything from sticking. Then I'm going to put the comic cover down, and as we all saw, this comic cover was detached from the book, so we don't have to deal with any issues of removing staples. We'll get to that at a later date, because I don't know what I'm going to do with this book in relation to conserve or to just try to submit it. And then I'm going to put and get a universal grade with a split spine. I don't know yet. So then what I want to do is I want to put a piece of Ramay paper between the front and the back cover. So when it gets humidified, it doesn't stick together. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put another piece of Ramay paper over the front cover. I'm just peeling off some old leaf casting. So then I have my Ramay paper over the front cover. Then what I want to do, because I want to try to keep the cover flat, I'm going to put a second piece over the actual top cover itself. So then we're going to get to the part of how are we going to create the humidity. Now I know people put plumbing pieces underneath grates and put a little bit of water. I'm going to do something different. I have my steamer. So what I want to do is I want to take my steamer, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up. I think it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the steamer in here, and I'm going to cover the steamer with the top of the cover. And we're just going to let this steam for about 2 to 3 minutes, and we're going to let the humidity pick up and develop in the chamber. And as you can see here, it is coming out, which is fine. It's okay, because I'm going to continuously do this periodically every hour or so. So by way of example, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to close it quickly. And then I'm just going to lift it up, and then you see all the humidity that's actually in the chamber. I hope the camera's picking it up. So that's how we're going to do this. And like I said, I'm going to maybe hit this every hour or so just to get the paper relaxed. And we'll do it overnight. We'll keep the humidity in it like this. And then hopefully this will loosen up the paper where I can flatten it, because I want to cut the packing tape in half to separate the covers. By separating the covers, I'll better be able to work on the book and remove the tape. I'm also hoping that by using the humidity, that alone will actually loosen the tape, because the actual adhesive for the packing tape, I don't feel is the same as the actual glue or adhesive for Scotch tape. So that's it for now, guys. Stay tuned and get ready for some fun to revitalize and to conserve this beautiful piece of history. Stay tuned. Okay, YouTube, just a quick follow-up. I know last segment I put the book in the chamber, and I just want to show you how successful the steam worked, because I was able to remove the back cover without any loss whatsoever of graphics. There is one little piece right here that unfortunately was sacrificed, but when you do this work, that is not a bad percentage. So I'm going to tackle the front, but I'm going to do that in a separate upload because I want to clean everything up here, because right now this is very delicate and I want to try to flatten it out. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it in the chamber overnight, and then we will try to flatten it out with my glasses and the Rimet paper, and then we'll work on the front cover. But one thing that I want to do, and I want to show you right here, you see how this area didn't get wet? I want to spray it down with my mister, and I want the water to penetrate in that area, because what will happen is if there are dry spots to the cover, that's how you get water stain. As long as the whole cover is wet, that will prevent water stain. So that will suck in, and that will be consistent wet, and there'll be no water stains, hopefully. So, okay guys, stay tuned. Actually guys, I'm gonna film just a little bit working on the front cover, and water is definitely working very well. So it's a combination of water and steam. So I want to saturate the actual tape itself to try to get it where the adhesive loosens up, and it is working. It's a slow process, and right there I got a piece of the bottom to lift. It's not going to be perfect. There is a shot of lifting some graphics. So what I want to do is I just want to get it going. This is a mini spatula, and I'm working it very slowly. So right there, some graphics came up. That's okay. We're not going to have it perfect, but we want to try our best to keep as much as possible. So when you're working on the books like this, you just have to take your time, and at least when I do it, I expect that there may be at times some color loss. You're dealing with tape that may have been here for quite some time. So I'm just stepping aside for a second, I'm sorry. And what you do, so if I have a big chunk that lifted right now, I want to put a piece of Rimet under it. So right now I have a piece of Rimet paper, and now I can feel free to lift this section up and see there's a little color that came up. What am I going to do? It happens. So I'm going to just continuously wet it down. and we're going to take it from there. Now, there are a few pieces that did come up that I'm trying to put to the side. So if I leaf cast this book, I don't know yet what I'm going to do. Angelo, the comic guy, he's telling me just to send it in normal and try to get a universal grade on this book. So there we go. There's the original rip. And that's probably why the librarian from the school or from this library actually put the tape on, because most likely an excited kid was reading this book. You have to remember, this book is from the early 40s. There was not much going on back then with TikTok and all these stupid things that kids watch today. I really don't want to sound like an old man, but I don't know. So let's see if we can get something from the top going. That would be cool. There we go. I see some graphics. Steam it up really nice. And you just take your time. The slow and steady, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but we all know what I'm saying. Slow and steady. So let's fold this over. Let's use all our tools that we have, and we'll continue this process until we get this pesky packing tape off. And I'll tell you, I think the packing tape is a lot easier than dealing with the regular old Scotch tape. Now, my good friend Mike, Night Tiger, recently took some tape off, or it was a sticker off a Golden Age book, and he uploaded it. He's competing with me for the conservation, I guess, audience, which I love. Mike's my good friend. I'm only kidding. He did a wonderful job, and in fact, we discussed it today, and I told him that this is what I was going to be doing. And I'm very happy so far. I hope you're sticking by watching this. If not, maybe you watch a little bit at a time. I understand. There's a lot of great content out there. So the question that I'm going to ask everyone is, what should we do with this book? Should I submit it and try to get a universal grade, which I know I will. It will be probably, I think I can get maybe a 2, a 1, 5 if I'm lucky, because there's no doubt that it's going to be a split cover. But the graphics are, in my opinion, beautiful with what's there. And what I see is that there is a section of the front cover that is on the back cover. So this is something that I have to figure out. I have to decide. And I do feel the glue on the back of the paper. And here we go. Here we go. And I'm not talking a lot because you understand this is a very delicate procedure that we're doing here. And I am happy with the results. And voila. So there you go, guys. I'll give myself a round of applause because we have a few pieces. What am I going to do? It happened. We'll see if we can get those out and maybe salvage them with the conservation if that's what I decide to do. So there you go, everyone. There is your Mickey Mouse 4 colors cover. There's a rip here, and there's some pieces missing, but not bad for a old book like this. So I hope you enjoyed the upload, everyone. Stay tuned for future uploads in relation to this book, and take care.